Great.
Well, hello and welcome to Conscious Gatherers. My name is Beverly Thompson, and
I'm AJ Royce.
we welcome you to episode 156. And today's date is September the find out, but and some things may come through. Excuse me, while we're talking. And in fact, I was talking to a friend recently, and he says, "Why don't you channel live?" And I said, "Well, many times we do, and you just don't realize it." And I will say things are coming in right now. That means I was, start the, what I term internal hearing and realizations that will come forth while we're talking. And so it may happen today, and we'll find out. So, um, so as she said, hang in there.
Yeah.
I wanted to start off because I did mention for this episode that I wanted to explain exactly what was mentioned in this last episode about the grand finale and the grand finale it will be. And but we really didn't get a ton of information outside of us, really a lot of information that we have been giving out for the last few years, in fact. But I'm going to go through some of that today, just to make it pretty short, because I did ask that question. Prior to that, though, on the last episode, I mentioned about a vision that I had, and I started talking about the monetary system. And I realized I didn't say one of the main things I wanted to say. And in that episode, I could see an energy line that coming straight down, and then it teed. And so, and it's like, okay, what does that mean? And what I want to say is what I was realizing at the time, that we're moving from one monetary system into another one. And as the old one falls, hence going down, and then it tees. It's like the old system is falling off to one side. We have a new system coming online. But that line is straight, where it tees into, meaning, at least the way I take it, that we're evenly moving into another system, and that system will be better than what we've had in the past.
Stable.
Okay, yeah, good way to put it. Thank you. Stable, yeah. And so it's really a transition. Obviously, we're going through big transitions right now.
Yeah.
The monetary system is just one of those systems.
Yeah, you know how transitions are. Some of them nice and smooth, and others are, hold on to your seats.
Yes. And it may freak a lot of people out because they're used to this old system, and how dare you upset the apple cart. And it reminded me of one of the things that I got a couple years ago, that people are afraid to upset the apple cart, even though all the apples are rotten. And I'm like, ooh. So to me, that really means a lot. And so I think that's what's happening right now, is that, the apple cart is getting upset, upended, etc. But hold on, everything is going to be just fine. At least that's the information, the way I feel. And I'm by no means expert on any financial stuff, but it's just an energy that I feel. And the other thing is, talking about, get my notes out here, about the grand finale. And the other day I was asking, okay, just explain that a little bit more. And so I want to share that with you right now. And I just said, explain grand finale. And so here's the information that came forth. Excuse me. An insertion in the time matrix that will turn humanity into their multi-dimensional counterparts to carry on the evolution of the species. It is an evolution in that the human species, our forms, have changed from the original intent of the makers. And I got the word makers as in plural. So, okay, I'm going to leave it at that for now.
Well, you know, you can back that up with biblical scripture, which says, "Let us make man in our image."
So we were
So,
talking about the Anunnaki and some of those. I won't go too far into that, but I can look at your face like, oh, you're going there. And I have a little more to share on this. But yeah, there's been some master geneticists that have come into our realm of Earth. And some of our original forms that were actually a part of many nations or many star systems are here on this beautiful, beautiful planet to bring about the changes that are happening now. Actually, as before they were to happen, and they did happen because of some uh, messing around with the species. how's that? All right. To carry on, just a couple more points I want to make, and what I received the other day, and that is the words, as you know, the control structures were indeed structures usurping the free will. Our free will. Therefore, they went beyond the universal laws intention of the species. The whole WHOLE, the whole structure is imploding, crumbling, not to return. So there you go, the grand finale. We're in it. So, all right. Where do you want to go from here?
well, I think it feels like right now is a good time to talk about the DNA.
Okay.
Um, there are some who will say that we've got like 10 more strands of DNA that are yet to be activated. And that may be true, but in a this reality way of speaking, like within this box of reality. Um, our DNA is like that number um, uh, 0.168 dot dot dot, you know, just keeps on going. It has the dot 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 at the end of it, meaning that it keeps progressing onward and upward. That's how it was designed to operate. If it starts to regress, that's when things just degrade and the species is no more. It can't go backward.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Okay.
So our DNA, the number of strands yet to be activated are unlimited, because we're unlimited. We're not in a box. Never were, but we're taught that we were. We're squashed into thinking that we were, and that's just what it is, being squashed. We can't be squashed in reality. So I think if we get over that, you know, we'll be doing pretty good. But our DNA, if there's an unlimited number of strands yet to be known. So
Yeah. Thank you. So in our bodies, um, the industry that studies bodies, and I would say doctors, but it's more than that. I don't even scientists. But those who delve into the body, I've seen the 12 strands, 2 of them being activated, double helix as we know it, and then other strands are coming online. And I feel that many of us are talking about coming online. A couple more strands are connecting and more, and I think it's just going to be quite fast as we make the transition. It's like one activates the next, And then as you see it, the dot, 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 is that the pi
Yeah,
ratio?
it's like 1.618 dot, dot, dot. The number, it keeps going. Yeah, yeah, it has a dot, dot, dot. That's the way I see it. It's an easy way to explain it because you can't find the end of it. It just keeps on going.
I um, just thinking as you're explaining this is our physicality, and our consciousness is in our bodies into this physicality. And so my question is this. Let's see if I can formulate the question. I think you get it. So how do we take that with us? As we take what our experiences in this lifetime, and as we may die the body, what we term die, but you don't really die. Your consciousness moves on.
We don't die. And as we evolve, as we keep on moving onward and upward, raising our vibration, that vibration, the higher it raises, carries the body as well. So we are soon to realize that the body need not ever die, not even the body. So the whole evolution is the body becomes more and more light. So it's a transformation, as opposed to something dying off. We evolve, so the body is becoming something greater and better than it was before, until it is pure light, which is what we are anyway. But to be able to measure it, uh, it's going to be something quite wonderful. Did I answer the question?
Yes, you did. And I'm going to add to it, because they're going to say, okay, why do we go into these bodies? The heavier density of a body, and we call it third density, 3D, all these terminologies that we use.
Boxes.
Boxes that we put ourselves in, or we volunteer to go into, to learn more about ourselves. And how do you really know yourself? I mean, it's kind of an odd thing to say, but it's true. Do you really know who you truly are?
I see it slightly differently.
Okay.
I see it as a species who truly, in the truest essence, knows who it is and is striving to make that, realize that in a tangible way, as opposed to a spirit residing within a physical body, and then when the physical body gives out the two part company, it's soon not going to be that way. So we will realize ourselves as what we truly are. So the understanding of who and what we are is being realized as we become higher vibrational beings, therefore more and more light. We can hold that light, and until that's what we are. Conscious light, conscious harmonic light.
There you go. Oh, I was just thinking some of the ETs, our galactic friends. I think they like to be called ETs because to us they are, but they're like, wait a minute, we're beings. And so a lot of them live for thousands of years, and I don't know how many strands of DNA they have, operate on. But I think a lot of them, they still look like they're 30 years old, and they may be thousands of years old. I think some of them can lay down that body if they choose to go to another body, from what I've learned throughout the years. So if you choose to, you're like, I think I want to try a different body this time. And, however that body manifests, I'm really not quite sure. I think there's different ways of doing it versus copulation that we have in our physical realm here. I think there's other ways of doing it. And I'm not suggesting cloning and ET and all of, or excuse me, AI. I'm not suggesting any of that. I don't know. Our consciousness is going to become so great that we can, I'm going to use the word dream or manifest through our conscious thoughts.
Which is truly what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Is we're trying to hone that capability. And along the way, you give the car keys to a teenager, and there may be a few scuffles here and there until the child learns how to drive much better.
So we're going to be driving these vehicles.
Yeah. So we're learning how to operate who and what we really are. And so this whole thing on the earth has been referred to as a great experiment. So there are other beings who are doing things differently, like you made mention of some that are living to be thousands of years old. And they can choose to leave that body and go into another one if they want to. We're doing it a little differently here. So this is quite, that's why the earth is so special, because of what we've got going on, our evolutionary process and the possibilities that we can realize, that we will realize. Man, it just,
well, endless from the dot.
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to bring something up, and what was it? Time. We're talking about somebody thousands of years old. That's what we would term our timeline, but they even look at time differently. And so we've talked a lot about time, and I'm going to, and time. In fact, I mentioned time. I'm not sure today. Time insertion, and I did get that a few days ago. As to some of the things that are going on now. Ready to bring that up?
Sure.
Good. All right. It's a little dim in here today, so the glasses are on. Okay, here's what I had heard. I think it's one of those nights I was up half the night, which does happen. Sleep patterns have changed. But anyway, this is what I got. Information I received. Time sequencing, like static moments inserted into your timeline. Some crisscrossing into the time matrix. There's first confusion, or at least some confusion by many people. And then I heard a relax of the matrix. So I was like, okay, because I got more information on matrices today. Anyway, I'll finish this. It will be noticeable, especially by those who have the eye to see. And talking about time insertion, like static moments inserted into our timelines. Like, what?
Well, I think a lot of people have been seeing that and making posts of it online of glitches, they're calling it.
Yep.
And I think that's how that is physically being documented. That's the way I see it anyway.
And we've talked about the Mandela effect. So, part of that could be, what's causing that Mandela effect. So sometimes you remember it one way and yet you research it and it didn't happen. And you're like, well, wait a minute. This is the way I remember it. Mm-hmm. And so do we even remember some of these insertions, or do we go into the matrix? How was that stated? Where we don't even realize it or think, oh, that's not how I remember it, but it's the way it is. Am I going crazy? Or, all these things that we start questioning ourselves. And so just I'm bringing this up to pay attention, because we're going to start seeing a lot of that, talking about some confusion. Like, wait a minute, I don't remember it that way. Yet there's a new insertion into our timeline, or crisscrossing.
Yeah.
So that'd be past, present, future. And I've had quite a few things that come through my Telegram page. Well, pages that I go on. I don't have a Telegram page per se. Um, and that is seeing pictures of some, like, what we would term movie stars or whatever. And then you see an old picture of somebody and it looks just like a current person.
Like old as in years and years and years and years ago.
Yes. At least when they had photography. Or drawings, but mostly earlier photography, and it looks like the same person. So, are they purposely jumping timelines? And I don't know. I'm just putting this out. Okay, I came into that timeline. I was a soldier then. Okay, I'm going to be in this timeline to bring in this information through the movies or whatever, which could be. Do they go into some kind of a stasis or what? Or do they go back and forth? Or do we go back and forth? And sometimes we know it and sometimes we don't. it's it's like, what? Go ahead.
But the whole thing about time, it kind of reaffirms the fact that time is a construct of the mind.
Yeah.
You know?
Because it's consciousness.
Yeah. Yeah. So the thing of time, it befuddles me how people get so hung up on age.
Yeah.
Why? It's just a number, it has no meaning because I have not assigned a meaning to it. It does not relate. It's a construct, and I'm not constructing.
Deconstructing. Yeah. I mean, I just had a birthday, so it's like, it's like, man, I'm this old. All of this stuff that you go through, and I realize that it is a sorry, hard to say the word, structure that we put in place, and so we play with that, and like, oh, when you get to be this age, you need to think about this, and this, and this, and I found myself doing that. Like, okay, in my next house, should I get 2-story house and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, then after a while, I thought, what in the heck am I doing?
Yeah.
It's just because I'm a certain age, then, I need to live like this, because that's what you do when you become a certain age. I mean, it's, that's what we've been taught. And so we follow that. And I'm saying we in generalities, or we don't. And I think that's what we're getting away from.
Yeah, yeah. And, do you want to spend the rest of your time here supporting pharmaceuticals? Do you want to buy into the whole aging thing, or do you want to try raising your vibration instead? It's something to think about,
Because we have the power. We
Yeah.
all are powerful beings.
Yeah.
And we're beginning to figure that out. And so that's one of the big reasons why we're here and doing these podcasts. Do you realize who you truly are? And pat yourself on the back and say thank you. Look in the mirror and say thank you. It's like, wow. Yeah. So things to think about. It's
Yeah.
like, let the size of that box down so you're not, foresighted, and then you can't see out behind the box.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, please.
Okay. With you making mention of giving thanks to yourself, that leads into this. Back in 2002, I received a prayer from the Ancient of Days, and I have no recollection of it whatsoever. I found found the paper, my handwriting, at my desk, and I have heard from others that when there's a connection with that which is known as Ancient of Days, that it's not something that is held within the brain. So I was that is that why I have no memory of it? Perhaps. So anyway, what the prayer is, I named it Peace Prayer, and this is how it goes. The days of turmoil are numbered now. There is a peace which is all encompassing. Let us fill ourselves with it. Let us give thanks to all things, to all men, to all activities, so that their hunger is no more. Fill yourselves and your souls, and be peaceful evermore. Amen. Now, that thing of let us give thanks to all things, to all men, to all activities, so that their hunger is no more, tells us a lot. We've got a lot of crap going on right now, clear across the globe, and it's it's like an energy, hungry energy that is searching out stuff to gobble up. And if you feed it with fear or whatever, it's going to keep on growing and spreading. And so this prayer gives us a hint on how to deal with that. Let us give thanks to all things, to all men, to all activities, so that their hunger is no more. We can satiate that hunger by acknowledging what's going on, saying thank you, because my attention has been drawn to what is truly going on. I see it, I hear it, blah, blah, blah. I acknowledge it in every way that I can, and I say thank you for drawing my attention to the fact that this is here and that I can make a better choice. But thank you very much.
So you could see it.
End of story. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you received that in 2002.
Yeah.
Yeah.
April 20, 2002.
Wow. Thank you.
That's what I had to say about that.
Yeah. Well, to think about that, because sometimes we can go off in these tangents and say, I can't believe this happened. I can't believe they're doing this to this, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
Be it people, animals, organizations, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And then you feed it and then you scream loud and all of this sort of thing.
Yeah, and it just keeps growing and growing, getting hungrier and hungrier, and gobble up, gobble up, gobble up,
But when you think it, for seeing what it truly is,
and energy.
and it just dies. There's nothing to feed it. It just dies. Yeah.
And it's like it's like before you had all this weight on your shoulders and you didn't even realize it. But once that weight is lifted, it's like, oh, that's what it feels like to be free. So it's something to think about.
What's happening? All right. Thank you. Well, today, this morning, a large and
Very large.
very large man, human-ish, but I would say maybe 10, 12 foot tall, kind of hard to tell. And they, there's the spatial thing is hard to understand, but we could see them projected here. But shoot, their torso was, toward the ceiling. And then, of course, there's, this the material world they go beyond that material world, and so you can see them, through the ceiling. I mean, our walls don't contain them.
Yeah.
And so
Because our walls mean nothing to them.
Yeah.
Confinement doesn't mean anything.
And so it was interesting seeing. I mean, this torso was, was wide, like about 3 foot wide or so. It's like, oh, you're a big guy. So it was a group, but there was one spokesperson that did step forward and communicated with us, and we got a little bit of different messages, but they worked together.
Mhm.
And so yes, we were getting this at the same time, and so it's looking at time differently and communicating. You explained it really well today. So
Well,
if you could,
I was posing the question: can it be that these beings, because of the vibrational rate that they exist in, or whatever it may be, they're able to project what they have to say, uh, like in you think of broad spectrum, but different increments of the spectrum to different people. So, it could go to 100 different people. They would get a slightly different take on it, but they'd be looking at the same thing. Like if you have a dot and a circle, people standing around the circle looking toward the dot, everybody's looking from a different direction, different perspectives, but it's still the same dot. So I was wondering if that's how this being projected information was, because we got differences, but you could see where they could mesh together.
well, I can still see this gentleman, I'm going to call him, is watching us now, and he just went, "Oh, that's a good way of explaining it." So it's like, okay, thank you. But I felt that these beings wanted to come in to share with us to some of the things that are going on. And they're being, well, you said they're the stars, they're from the star. Go ahead.
The stars. So to perceive where they come from out there in space, you go out to the stars that we look at, and then from there you look out at their stars. So out there somewhere. So way out there.
What we call out there.
Yeah.
So out there's also in there. Anyway, it gets real confusing. I understand. All right. Here's what he told me. Well, I also heard close encounters of the third kind. I thought, they're going to show up in some kind of physicality. Looks like it could very well happen. All right. Here's what he told me. The streaming that goes out, talking about out, from your planetary structure is strong. It signifies the changes in the matrices of your planet. There is a switching off and on that we see happening. Something to think about, like, okay. Matrices are slipping and sliding into new positions, allowing an influx of energies to combine or take out all discordant energies of past, present, and future. That's big. What this does is it unveils the interior workings of your planet. The makeup, the interior beings are surfacing, those that live underground. This brings a whole new way to look at the human species. A multitude of announcements will arise in what you call your near future. Hang on, all will be well. So just keep your cool.
While you were talking, I was thinking about, how the center of our planet
Yeah.
has, it kind of went like dormant. I'm wondering if it getting re-energized, if that was what they're perceiving as the the energy off and on,
Oh. Um, Go ahead and keep talking. I'm going to ask unless you get an answer.
Yeah, that just flashed into my mind. I was wondering if that might be what they're perceiving. I'm talking about the magnetic core of the planet.
Yeah, I've seen it
Very
look
core.
like a bright sun.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it spin. I think it did start spinning again, but even the scientists were picking up, or those that study the geologists, excuse me, that pick up the center of the earth said it just became still for a while.
Yeah, yeah,
And now
yeah.
now Schumann resonance is going way up because of the
Yeah.
flares from the sun, because that activates our core also and us.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if that's the core fluctuations with the core, if that's what they're perceiving. I don't know.
Tuning in right now, it's partial, but not
Okay.
everything. So maybe we'll get more information yet today, or we'll come back next time and try to explain a little bit more.
Okay.
The last words I got from a little later, we got some more information, but I did get within the eye of God can one see. So, excuse me, because your book is called Walking into the Eye of God.
Yeah, that's the sacred geometry book.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of odd. They're very similar,
Yeah.
what you said and what my title is.
So talking about matrices, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
what's real, what's not real.
Yeah.
Well, then that goes into what I'm going to bring up next, and then you'll share all of your stuff.
Okay.
But I got this is before we came on, received this information. Reality is coming to a screen near you. Okay. Players outed. Who is performing what? Time to focus on ourselves, our true selves. Earth, excuse me for coughing, one of those days. Excuse me. Earth is becoming to look more like a cracked egg. Okay. You will witness what is inside. That's what I just read about the interior beings in the earth. Reality is being turned on its head. A new day, a new time, and it's coming soon. So
I don't know what kind of music to play to that.
they said,
is it
hey,
ominous? Is it happy?
They said all will be well.
Will be well.
But it'll probably shake up a lot of people. So just be calm, stay calm, know everything is going to be just fine. Don't play into the fear game. Um, that box that we talked about earlier. It's like, don't go there. And I think there's going to be some kind of a welcoming, and those that don't want to stay here on Earth, I feel will be leaving. I think a lot of them already have because I've seen it.
Well, we're in the middle of a mass exit. All you have to do is just pay attention to the news, and you see it happening.
Well, that's
a lot of
people.
Extremely important, in the public's eye, important people.
Yeah.
Saying.
Well, we've seen ETs leave, and ships coming down. I think we mentioned this in previous podcasts.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've seen them go up, and ships come in to take them out because they can't be here in this energy. Yeah. And when I say that, they're usually lower vibrational energies that they can't take the higher vibrations. So they're leaving or being told to leave because this is what's going on here.
Yeah.
Okay.
When that being was speaking to us, this is what I got. Today, truth is spoken, momentous in its discourse, the comeback. Our return marks the fulfillment of that which has been foretold for millennia. We have kept our word, and what we now find on the face of the earth is both beautiful and vile. There is truly a reckoning occurring, a reckoning of restoration and the uploading/absorbing of rightful intention across the face of the earth. And he was speaking to Bev and I, and he said he had admired our intent, and that is why they are here. Our presence will be acknowledged as we assist in the restoration process for all life here now. We go for now, soon to return. So, in the middle of a reckoning, things are being made right.
It looks like they're going to be here in form, hence, Close Encounters of the
return.
Third Kind,
Yeah.
the return.
Mhm.
We've talked about Quetzalcoatl and some of these other beings that said they're going to be here. Did I say it wrong?
Well, it was really close.
I don't know why his name just, anyway, and he's a rather larger, they're larger beings also, but I think there's a group. So we've got a lot of beings coming in, and we've got some that'll be coming up from underground, and some of them all work together. But specific ones, I don't know. Some people have seen them. Yes, I've seen through my consciousness some of the ant beings and some of the other beings that are underground, but they kind of look at you like, you're curious, aren't you? I do remember that. Like, yeah, who are you? What are you doing? But, I wasn't scared of them at all. But yeah, it's just all kinds of different beings.
Yeah, they're
and
very
we're finding out.
humanoid ones.
Yeah.
Down there too. I remember back in the 90s finding myself in what looked like a cavernous place. I knew it was underground, deep underground. Light was coming from some diffuse place. I couldn't tell exactly. And there were all these people sitting around, and I was talking with them. So, I mean, human beings are just one of many. Life comes in all different forms. So.
It does, and there's people have been underground with our military and speak of it, and said that light comes from diffuse places, and that's what they're saying. Where there's no
You can't see
light
the source.
Yeah. So it's kind of odd. It's not as bright as a sunny day on the earth.
Yeah.
But still,
there's still light,
and very green and lush in the food, the water, the trees, and they call them water trees. That the water comes through the trees, and it's very nutritious. So we talked about even somebody bringing a new plant, and then the leaves, the whole plant would be enough to sustain our human form.
Yeah.
If you want. I do remember that from, I forget who these beings were, but
yeah.
Anyway, there's just such a mixture of what we already are, coming from different planetary systems. And so it's time for a lot of these other beings to come in and to share their wares and come up from the underground or whatever it may be. I don't know if they're all going to come up. I'm not sure how it's going to look, but talking about a cracked egg, I thought, well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So we have talked. Well, I remember I was getting a lot of the word. I was getting the word cracked quite a bit, and I'm hearing other people say it. You know how that works.
Yeah.
And so the earth is starting to crack. Earthquakes, volcanoes, and that sort of thing are happening. Not to fear, but if you need to move out of the way.
Yeah, it's pressure release,
Yeah. So
we're on a planet that is quite alive. It is a living being. And so maybe with thinking of her that way, we'll respect her a little bit more.
Yeah, I call her Lady Gaia. I mean, Gaia obviously is, I think most everybody knows the name Gaia, but
Mhm.
I've been told Lady Gaia. And Terra is another word that is used often. And so we just, thank the earth for what she has given us and how we work together. Um, she needs us, we need her. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here as we are. So it's just that synchronicity that we use back and forth.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, thank you. Appreciate your time today, and we covered a lot. And we did see more, and we can speak of that. Maybe speak of that next time, as we're learning what that's all about. Because to bring it up may leave some people like what, but we'd like to get a little more information before we bring that forth. And I know it's a little bit of a teaser out there, but so be it. So um, we thank you again. And again, please do share, and thumbs up is always appreciated. Um, and send this podcast along, because we did cover quite a few different points, and to me it's very important as to what's going on today.
Yes. And I would like to say, I was talking to a cousin just the other day, and you find out things that people are going through, like being a part of a class action suit because of someone who dumped chemicals and just let it go into the water system and didn't bother telling the people, and so now people are suffering all kinds of maladies. But there are people out there in really bad straits right now. So, on behalf of all of those people, and whatever the causative was that brought them to where they are, I want to say thank you. I would love to see the energy of whatever that was that caused the problems to be satiated, hungry no more. So thank you.
Mhm.
And I want to thank all of you for being here on this beautiful, beautiful planet, for sticking it out this long. Thank you so much for staying, because we need you here right now. If you have to go, thank you for having been here. But thank you for all the life that is here. It is quite a thing to behold. It's quite beautiful. And I hope that right now you can feel what I'm feeling toward all of you, because it's love. I love you all. So thank you.
You're not at all emotional.
No.
All right, thank you, and thank you, Daisy. I see a thumbs up, so we do appreciate that. So here's to you. All right, thank you all. We love you, and we'll be back in 2 weeks. All right, good
Bye.
good night.